What's up, fantasy managers? I'm Jason, the lucky bastard. And the other day I was thinking, do I waste picks on rookie running backs? Are some rookies worth it? This was after the year I drafted Bijan Robinson in the first round, who kind of let me down last season. So, of course, I had these thoughts. I wasted my first round pick. So I went and learned rookie running backs averages from the past 10 years, and I thought it'd be good information to share. I know you're interested, so stick around for 7 seconds. All right, so what I did was take the running backs drafted in the first round of the NFL draft from the last 10 years and combined their fantasy scoring and then found an average. I did the same for the players drafted in rounds 2 and 3. What I'm looking for is if there is any correlation between where running backs are drafted in the NFL and how many points they score their rookie year. Do they make or break your team? So let's start with the rookie running back seasons who were drafted in the third round of the NFL. And here is a list from the last 10 years. The ones highlighted are running backs who average over 10 points per game their rookie year. Big names like Devon Achane, Kareem Hunt, Alvin Kamara, even Antonio Gibson is on here. Achane is a special talent. He can score anywhere from the field. Kareem Hunt began the season as a starter, so that's worth a draft pick. I drafted him, and I remembered his first carry, he fumbled the ball. But then at the end of week 1, he still ended up with 45 points. He was a workhorse with 272 carries and 52 receptions on that year. Alvin Kamara started behind Mark Ingram, but quickly took over by controlling the passing downs with 81 receptions, which led to 5 receiving touchdowns his rookie year. And I do forget at one point that Antonio Gibson was good. He had 11 touchdowns his rookie year. I can't remember if there was other running backs on that team, maybe like Peyton Barber. There wasn't a lot of competition because he only had 206 total touches on the year, which is kind of low. Some other interesting running backs, James Conner, he averaged 1 point his rookie year, but he was behind Le'Veon Bell. Alexander Madison backed up Dalvin Cook. Zach Moss backup. Rashad White backup. Tank Bigsby, Kendre Miller, and Tyjae Spears, all backups. It appears being drafted in the third round by a team, you're already starting off with a low amount of rushing attempts due to not being the starter for that team. Running backs drafted in the third round in the NFL draft average 7.5 points per game. That's not impressive at all. So the odds of finding a startable running back that was drafted in the third round from the last 10 years is 30%. And the chances of finding a league winner is 9%. Not very good odds. Hopefully, when you're drafting these type of running backs, your starting lineup and most of your bench players are already filled out. Before we continue on, can you take a second, if you're enjoying this information in this video, and please press the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe and turn on the little alert notification so you won't miss any of our future videos. We appreciate all you zoners out there, and it goes a long way. Thank you. Now let's talk about the running backs drafted in the second round in the NFL draft. This is the list of their rookie season. I highlighted the players who averaged more than 13 points a game because they were second round players. They were expected to do better their rookie season compared to the third round drafters. Most of these running backs were drafted as starters, but there are a lot of backups as well. Gio Bernard started as a change of pace running back behind Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Remember that guy? Then the next year, Jeremy Hill was back up to Gio, but he exploded at the end of the year. Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker started as backups, but got the starting job because of injuries. And of course, most of the highlights are pass catching running backs as well. So 46% of running backs drafted in the second round of the NFL draft in the last 10 years are considered startable their rookie season. That's 16% more than the players drafted in the third round, but still under half the chance of landing a startable running back, if that makes any sense. And to find a league winner increases to 14%. So third round is 9%. Now it's 14% in the second round. The average points per game from these running backs are 10.6. That's a big risk to take in your fantasy drafts before round 7. All right. So hard for me to talk. I've been sick for the past week, but we got to push through. Okay, now the big dogs, the first rounders from the NFL draft. This is the list of the rookie season from the past 10 years. We see 2 running backs average 20 points per game. They are instant league winners. Saquon Barkley set the rookie running back record for the most receptions in a year with 91, I believe. And Ezekiel Elliott was placed behind one of the best offensive lines in the league. I placed the points per game for league winners at 16 because most of the running backs are going in the first two to three rounds, so their expectations are higher. So league winners percentage is 38%. But I would say out of the 13 running backs, only 3 were considered not startable, and that's like Melvin Gordon, Rashad Penny, and Sony Michael. Yeah. So the rest of the running backs you could have started, and it would have done great for you. First rounders average 14.4 points per game. But I noticed if a running back is drafted in the first 10 picks in the NFL draft, they are instant starters and normally ready for a bell cow season. Unfortunately, we have no rookies this year drafted in the first round. So, what rookie running backs do we have this year in 2024? Jonathan Brooks was the first running back drafted in the second round. His current ADP is running back 25, 93rd overall, which is round 8 in a 12-man PPR. He's coming off an ACL tear and will share touches with Chuba Hubbard. But how much? I don't know. The average with second round running backs points per game is 10. I'm okay gambling on that in the 8th round. I'm sure he will have spike weeks. Actually, I'm sure he'll have multiple spike weeks throughout the season. Trey Benson was drafted in the 3rd round by the Cardinals. He is currently running back 40, 137th overall. Benson is strictly a backup and will only become relevant if James Conner gets injured, which history shows he will get injured. Benson is a handcuff option, and he's like a shot in the dark. Blake Corum was drafted in the 3rd round by the Rams. Current ADP is running back 37, 130th overall. He is backup to Kyren Williams, but McVay is reporting he will get his opportunities in this offense. McVay keeps comparing him to Kyren Williams. I'll take Corum over Benson because of the opportunities. Marshawn Lloyd was drafted 3rd round to the Green Bay Packers. His current ADP is running back 46, 160th overall. Another backup running back to a bell cow running back. His situation is like Trey Benson, where he won't have a major impact unless there is an injury. But he is going at the time of the draft where you can take a shot in the dark and it won't ruin your team. He can have spike weeks, but with a very low floor. So in this video, we learned in the last 10 years, running backs drafted in the 3rd round in the NFL draft are rare league winners and mostly backups. Second round running backs have a higher chance to hit as a league winner. But still, under 50% of those running backs are unstartable. The first rounders hit like crazy, especially with top 10 draft capital. So take this information into your next fantasy draft and plan accordingly. Want to know if any of the 2024 rookie running backs have league winning upside? Then click this video here for our top 10 upside players to draft. I'll talk to you in that video. Deuces.